Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the CWL. This is the second game of two. Earlier today, we saw the Alberta Grizzly beat the Palm Springs Power 10-3. Delvis Lorenzo getting the win. Huang Po Shen getting the loss in that one. This afternoon's game is going to be the British Columbia Bombers taking on the Washington Blue Sox. Take a look at the lineup for the Bombers. Elijah Dickerson in right field will be leading off. Sawyer Stidham in left field batting second. It'll be Eddie Javier Jr. at catcher in the third spot. Bubba Thompson playing second base. In the cleanup spot, Si-Yun Kim at third batting fifth. Michael Sims, the shortstop, batting sixth. Joshua Hoffman in center field batting seventh. Dominic Bertino at first base batting eighth. And the pitcher, Jordan Henke, batting ninth. On the Blue Sox side, Nico Diaz leads it off in left field. Angus State batting second at the DH spot. Kevin Gameros at shortstop. Alan Goodwin, the catcher, in the four-hole. Shuya Funada playing center, batting fifth. Hiroto Kono in right, batting sixth. Connor Donahue at first, batting seventh. Hunter Smith at third, batting eighth. Han Wan Hu batting ninth. And the pitcher getting ready to get set for this top of the first inning, Angel Landazuri.
Landazuri pretty familiar with the British Columbia Bombers. We'll tell you a little bit more about how these two teams faced off against each other. But first, the first pitch of this ball game.
Elijah Dickerson, the leadoff hitter, stepping in. First pitch is in there for strike one. First pitch at 1:07 p.m.
Bit of a later start. Those longer innings in the first game kind of led us here.
Saw a lot of walks in the first game. The 0-1 here is down the left field line. Looks like it's going to be hooking just foul. And it's going to be 0-2.
Just foul, like you could see a little bit of the chalk pickup. It was that close, just by about a hair. And that would have been almost an easy double or triple for the speed of Elijah Dickerson.
Saw a lot of slow pitching in the last game. Now Landazuri speeding it up a little bit. That one was at 88, and it was 95 off the bat of Elijah Dickerson.
There were 13 walks, by the way, in the first game.
0-2. Breaking ball just misses outside for ball one.
Landazuri, as we mentioned, has faced off against the Bombers in the 11-4 victory that the Blue Sox took over the Bombers on the second day.
Soft grounder. Looks like it's going to get into foul territory. Pretty weird spin on that one, and it'll stay 1-2.
Blue Sox in that game didn't really even give the Bombers a chance. They scored 6 runs in the top of the first off the Bombers starter Takushi Minagawa. He pitched yesterday, and this guy on the mound, Landazuri, he threw 4 shutout innings, allowing only 2 hits and 1 walk while striking out 7. He'll look to try and have a repeat performance today against these 0-5 Bombers.
1-2 pitches inside, and it's 2-2. Yeah, the Bombers 0-5, the only winless team still in the league, just looking for their first win. They'll be behind Jordan Henke when it gets to the bottom half of the first, but for now, the 2-2 from Landazuri. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. A nice fight from Elijah Dickerson.
A 6-pitch at bat now. And Dickerson really just trying to kick off some offense here. Doriel Beck out of the lineup for the first time that we've seen in a while for the Bombers. He's one of the more prominent leadoffs here.
2-2 grounded up the middle. That's going to get through into center field for a leadoff single. Dickerson's on first with no outs.
He saw the shift applied. Hu closer to the first base bag. Hu at second. And got it by him. There was no chance of getting to that one. Great job for Dickerson to get a leadoff single.
It'll be another lefty, Sawyer Stidham. Now up after the leadoff single. Seen a lot of aggressive base running in the last game. Let's see if Dickerson, the leadoff hitter, can steal a bag or two here, as that one's outside for ball one.
Stidham has yet to get his first hit of the season. He'll like to try and follow in suit with Dickerson at first.
Speaking of, throw back to first. Dickerson dives back in safely. Stidham 6 at-bats, no hits, 2 strikeouts. He's gotten on once, stole a bag. As he swings through that one. It's 1-1. Solid high 80s fastball from Landazuri was really dealing, as you said, in the last time these two teams faced off. 1-1. Swings through that one, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, both these offenses have really had a slow start. However, there's still a lot of talent in these offenses, despite only 2 wins collectively between these two teams in the start of this 2025 season.
1-2. High, and that'll be 2-2. Dickerson not really looking to run right now, covered on first by Connor Donahue. Two here to Stidham. Breaking ball a little low, and it'll be a full count.
Good one to take there. That came close to the zone. Really nice breaking ball there by Landazuri.
Full count now. Elijah Dickerson on first. He's running. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, throw down to second, and he got him. A great throw by Alan Goodwin over to Kevin Gameros. He applies the tag, and it's a strike him out, throw him out. A quick 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Starting off this game with a web gem there. Really nice awareness by Goodwin, pinpoint accuracy. And now the base is clear for Landazuri with 2 outs.
An unfortunate turn of events for this Bombers offense, who needs a spark. Eddie Javier takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Oh, 1 fly ball to right field. Hiroto Kono will get under it, make the grab. And that is out number 3, so Landazuri ends up facing the minimum. We'll head to the bottom of the first, no score.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99, including 1 mouth-watering entree, a refreshing beverage, a $10 power card, and a whole lot of fun, which means you enjoy a delicious meal for under $10. Oh, look, that's 5 good things. Good things come in threes at Dave & Buster's with the Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Buy online or in-store today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
A good old-fashioned strike him out, throw him out in the top of the first. Gets Angel Landazuri out of the top of the first, facing the minimum, and now it'll now be Jordan Henke. The starter here will be facing off against Nico Diaz, Angus State, and Kevin Gameros. 2 of the 3 are lefties in the top of the lineup. Here in the bottom of the first, Defensively, as we mentioned, Stidham in left, Hoffman in center, Dickerson in right. Third to first, Kim, Sims, Thompson, and Bertino. And Eddie Javier Jr., who usually plays shortstop, behind the dish here at catcher for Henke.
Yeah, a couple rearrangements for manager Aaron Miles, and Henke on the mound, his second start. This is his 4th appearance of the season. Has 4 innings pitched, only 1 strikeout in those 4 innings and 5 walks and 8 hits allowed. Last appeared against the A's. He only threw an inning, but he got out of it without a run coming across the plate. If you can get out of an inning with the Canada A's without a run coming across, that's pretty good. So he'll hope to carry that momentum into today. Well, he's got double duty as well in the 9 spot in the lineup.
Canada A's, one of the powerhouses here in this league early on, but now Nico Diaz, the leadoff man, will step in. Nico Diaz hitting at a .500. Doesn't have any RBIs, doesn't have any stolen bases, which is interesting because he is real speedy out there in the outfield. So that's in there for strike 1. He's usually the leadoff hitter for this team.
And the Blue Sox, despite having 2 more wins than the Bombers, collectively as a team are actually doing worse offensively.
Fouled back near us. Just going to get right below us into the stands, and it's a quick 0-2.
The Bombers actually have a greater team batting average than the Blue Sox by 23 points. Very slim margin there. Very similar offenses, but both have been improving gradually each game.
Outside, and it's 1-2. If you look at the pitching, though, the Bombers 6.73 ERA compared to the Blue Sox 2.59. So it's really been on the pitching side where the Blue Sox have been able to grab their 2 wins. 1-2, grounded to first. Bertino has it. He'll toss it to Henke at first, and that's a quick first out.
The Bombers dugout getting excited by that play by Bertino. He's got a smile on his face, a little spring in his step.
Yeah, Bertino hasn't really been getting that much playing time. Gets the start here at first and gets the first out of the bottom of the first. Here now, Angus State will step in. He was 2 for 3 with an RBI in his last game in the DH spot, so he will get a day off from playing defense, barring some changes. First pitch, he drills that one to deep center. Hoffman going back on it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So a quick 2 outs here for Jordan Henke. Kevin Gameros, the shortstop, will stand in. Went 0 for 2 with 2 walks in his last game. Now he will stand up here scoreless with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. 98 miles per hour on that last hit by Angus State. He hit it real hard, just right at the center fielder Hoffman. First pitch from Henke. Grounded to first again. Bertino can't get that one, but it's foul, and it's 0-1.
For this Blue Sox lineup, I haven't really noticed any distinctive it guy. Haven't seen much power out of this team, but what they do have is the ability to be a cohesive unit and put together consecutive base runners. That's really where they find their most success. That's where they've found those 2 wins so far this season, including one over the Bombers.
0-1 from Henke. Swings through that one, and it's 0-2. Yeah, we haven't seen a real it factor here for the Blue Sox. Only 2 guys hitting over 250. One of them being Nico Diaz, who we just saw grounded to first. The other one being Parker De Pasquale, who's not even in the lineup today, but he is available on the bench if needed for Jimmy Johnson's squad. 0-2 from Henke. Pop fly, shallow, left center field. It'll be Hoffman to make the catch. A bit of a meeting out there in left center. Hoffman calls off Stidham. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Henke. We head to the top of the second, still scoreless.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Top of the second after the 8-pitch inning from number 8, Jordan Henke. Both pitchers faced the minimum in this first inning. We are at the top of the second now as Bubba Thompson will stand in to lead off this inning, facing off against his former squad.
Yeah, Bubba Thompson kind of trying to bolster this Bombers offense that we talked a little bit about in the prior half inning. Thompson 2 for 12 on the season. So really needed to pick himself up. It was a tough day for the Bombers against China. A lot of offers, including this guy who went 0 for 3.
First pitch from Landazuri is fouled back into Sunrise Park for strike one. It'll be Thompson, Kim, and Sims. Any of them get on, it'll be Joshua Hoffman to face off in this second inning against Landazuri. The 0-1 swings through that one, and it's 0-2.
Really pumped a fastball there at 87 miles per hour. Thompson was just trying to catch up with it. And now he falls behind here.
0-2, Landazuri faced the minimum in the top of the first. Thompson into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. A bit of a bloop single, and Bubba Thompson has his first hit.
Back-to-back leadoff singles for the Bombers. Let's see if they can do anything with it.
It'll be Si-Yun Kim at third base. Usually he's the shortstop, and usually Michael Sims is the second baseman. But now Sims at short, Kim at third, and is now up to bat here. No outs. Man on first in Bubba Thompson. First pitch from Landazuri. First pitch swinging, a bit of a dive, drop, throw to second. Get the first out there. But Kim makes it to first. There's no throw there from Hu. And it's a fielder's choice.
Way to get first pitch contact there from Kim. But an unproductive out as he just replaces the base runner at first base.
It'll be Michael Sims, his first at bat. Now with Kim at first and one out. Landazuri kicks and deals. Check swing at first. He did not go, and that's ball one. So breaking ball wasn't able to fool Sims enough to get him to swing all the way through. As Landazuri checks Kim at first. It fires the 1-0. It's grounded to second. Hu to short for one. Gameros to first for two. He faces the minimum again. We're heading to the bottom of the second. Still no score.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching. Rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Angel Landazuri getting some help from the defense. The 4-6-3 double play has the leadoff single lead to nothing in the top of the second. Now in the bottom half, it'll be 4-5-6. Alan Goodwin, the catcher, leading off here against Jordan Henke in his second inning of work. Then it'll be Hiroto Kono and Connor Donahue.
Getting ready to face this middle part of the lineup. And Henke looking clean so far, a lot cleaner than Landazuri, who has allowed a single to lead off things. The Bombers just have not been able to get that man past first base. They've been caught at some way on their way to second. Nobody in scoring position all day. And if the trend follows, this might be a low-scoring affair.
Alan Goodwin, first batter up here against Henke. First pitch, breaking ball's in there for strike one. Goodwin went 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the Blue Sox last matchup, their 10-3 loss against the Canada A's. Henke kicks and deals the 0-1 in the dirt for ball one.
He's really been fighting some personal battles at the plate. Now 1 for 14 on the season, 11 straight hitless at-bats since a go-ahead 2 RBI single on opening day, the only loss issued to Team China.
Another breaking ball's in there for strike two.
So, I mean, this man can get hits off Team China, but he has been fishing and pulling nothing up on the hook.
One-two's in the dirt. It's a spin rate on that ball of under 1,000, which we rarely see here. 2-2 now to Goodwin.
Goodwin, the ex-Florence Y'all.
Two to Goodwin. Grounded up the middle. It's going to get past the dive of Sims at short into center field. And Goodwin has his first hit since opening day.
And, oh boy, is he probably relieved at first base. That soft dribbler up the middle looking like honey, milk and honey in heaven.
So the leadoff guy is on again with a single for the third time in this game. Shuya Funada takes one low for ball one.
One of my favorite color combinations of the helmet, the stockings, and the long sleeve shirt.
Outside for ball two. Yeah, it seems like the opposite of what we saw in Asaf Loengart, where he has the red uniform and the blue helmet, but Shuya Funada really completes it with the sleeves and the socks along with this helmet.
Looks like a reverse Spider-Man. Somewhere in the multiverse.
2-0 is drilled into left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Alan Goodwin takes a big turn around second, but won't go anywhere further. Shuya Funada has a single, and it's 2 on with no outs.
And right now for Henke, he does not want these dominoes to continue to fall. Some bigger hitters heading up. Connor Donahue in the on-deck circle right now. Hasn't really shown a lot on the batting average side, but he can hit if he finds a nice pitch across the plate.
Has a chance to break through here for the Blue Sox offense with 2 on and no out. Kono grounds one foul into the Blue Sox dugout, and it's 0-1.
Another guy without a hit so far this season, 0 for 6. Couple strikeouts and a walk.
0-1. Grounded to third. It's a bit bobbled, and Kim's just going to tag the lead runner. And he gets the out. Goodwin is tagged out at third, but Funada takes second. Kono takes first, and there's one out here.
Good job collecting himself there, Kim, preventing an E5. Instead, just exchanges an out, and now still runners at first and second for these Blue Sox. Good chance here.
Connor Donahue will stand in for his first at-bat. Still 2 on, still runners at first and second now with 1 out. As Jordan Henke looks back to Funada at second. First pitch is fouled back to the screen for strike 1.
First time we've also seen a runner in scoring position all day. Typically, it's the trend of who can strike first.
Henke the 0-1. Swing and a miss by Donahue, and it's 0-2.
Absolutely fooled him. Coming in at 65 miles per hour. And again, that slow spin rate, we're assuming it might be something similar to, or if that, a knuckleball out of Henke's hands.
0-2. Drilled into right field. Dickerson's under it. He'll make the catch. Funada's going to tag. Dickerson has an arm, but he won't be able to get Funada. He'll tag up to third, and there's 2 outs. So it'll be runners on the corners now for Hunter Smith, the third baseman. That's now 2 outs. Still no score here in the bottom of the second. 2 hits from each team, all of which being singles. Hunter Smith now coming up with a chance to break it open here for the Blue Sox. First pitch from Henke, kicks and deals. And that's grounded to third. It gets past Kim into left field. Funada scores. And the Blue Sox take a 1-0 lead here in the second.
Coming up big there, just finding a nice 75-mile-per-hour pitch that he can drive past the glove of Kim. You don't want to leave that runner at third stranded, and he does the job there.
Still 2 on, 2 outs here. Now with a run in, it's 1-0 Blue Sox. And it's Han Yuan-Hu, the 9-hitter, taking strike 1. Alan Goodwin, the leadoff single. Funada singles after him. Goodwin gets tagged at third. Funada gets to third, scores on the Hunter Smith single. And now it's 0-2 to who?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's grounder, soft grounder. Kim will get in front of Sims and bobble it. Looked like a bit of a miscommunication there, and who will get on? See what that's called. It could be an E5 as Kim bobbles it at third.
It should be. That was definitely Sims' ball. He was just looking at Kim in anger right there, saying, hey, what are you doing, man? That's my ball.
So instead of the third out, miscommunication there on the left side of the infield. It's bases loaded for the top of the lineup in Nico Diaz. First pitch, fouled all the way back to the bleachers, and it's 0-1. Nico Diaz grounded to first base in his first at-bat. 1-2-3 inning from Henke in the first, as that one's into right field, and that'll be a diving catch from Dickerson. Saves multiple runs. That's a great catch and a web gem from the right fielder Dickerson. Keeps it a 1-0 ball game. We head to the top of the third. Still 1-0 Blue Sox.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection, and an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyriq. Silent power, bold performance. Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
Top of the third, Blue Sox get a run, but a really nice diving play by Elijah Dickerson saves pretty much 2 or 3 runs from coming in as the first pitch from Lanzaduri to Joshua Hoffman is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Hoffman went 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch against China yesterday. Their 5th loss of the season.
0-1, 86 in there for strike 2.
Hoffman only 1 hit as well on the year so far.
0-2. Fouled back above the press box, and it's still 0-2.
Landazuri has allowed a leadoff single in each inning he's pitched, but he's faced the minimum. Try to follow that trend here.
That's going to get over the head of who into right field for a base hit. Joshua Hoffman, a bloop single. And again, the leadoff man is on.
Speak it into existence, I guess. And if, again, the trend follows, then somehow Hoffman will be caught going to second base. Dominic Bertino stepping up now.
Bertino batting from the right side with a man on, no outs. First pitch, it's a grounder. The second, it looks like it gets through everyone. But a trip and fall by Hoffman. Looked like he was about to go 3. A really big miscommunication there between the middle infielders. As it gets through everybody, and Bertino's on.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an error. That would have caused some heavy effort. That was up the middle. I think it just got through the middle infielders, so we'll mark that down in our book as a hit.
Landazuri, the first pitch to Henke, is in there for strike 1.
That's also a tough call there, too. There was a little bit of miscommunication up the middle, but for the first time all game, there's a bomber at second base.
Henke takes inside, 1-1. Jordan Henke trying to help himself out, trying to tie this game up for him, pitching in the bottom half of the frame. Landazuri kicks, deals, swings and a miss, and it's 1-2. Seems like the Bertino chopper of the middle will be called a hit.
Yep.
So Bertino 1-1, 1 for 1 now. As the 1-2 is grounded to who at second, tosses to Gameros, throw to first. Donahue gets on the bag, and it's another double play, another 4-6-3. There are 2 outs here in the inning as Joshua Hoffman takes third.
Bertino maybe not aware he had to get out of the way. He was kind of right in the base path. He's lucky he didn't get drilled there. Might need to work on his base running there, but nevertheless, he's got a hit.
Back to the top of the lineup as Elijah Dickerson will step in. A man on third, 2 outs after the double play. First pitch is popped up, foul territory to the left side, and it looks like it'll just get in that pit. And it's caught on a bounce by one of the fans. He gets a little bit of applause on the first base side.
Gotta love fan involvement here at Palm Springs Stadium. Love to see it.
As we said earlier, Elijah Dickerson, the diving catch with the bases loaded, saves multiple runs for his pitcher, Henke. As that's grounded to short, Gameros, it bobbles it, and it's into center field. A run will score. And Elijah Dickerson doing it all now has an RBI. And he's on first, still with 2 outs for Sawyer Stidham.
Actually, I don't think he gets the RBI there. That's an error on the shortstop. But nevertheless, it scores the run and ties the game. That's all you want. Gets the job done.
Very interesting hop on that grounder. Eats up Gameros at short. The first pitch to Stidham is inside for ball 1. One 0 is inside again, and it's 2-0. Hoffman, the leadoff single, he comes around to score to tie this game up at 1 here in the top of the third. Bertino also with a single was out at second on the 4-6-3 double play by Henke. Now Dickerson gets on by an error as that one's fouled off to the left side out of play, and it's 2-1. Up the middle, off the glove of Landazuri. Pick it up barehanded, throw to first for the out. He almost caught it right on the line, but he bobbles it a little bit, able to pick himself up, throw to first, but the Bombers tie it up. It's 1-1 heading to the bottom of the third. We are all tied up at 1 in the bottom of the third. Jordan Henke, 8 pitches in the first, 18 pitches in the second. Now up here in the third, facing off against 2-3-4. Angus State, Kevin Gameros, Alan Goodwin. Any of them get on, it'll be Shuya Funada, who led the second off. Sorry, Goodwin led the second off with a single. Funada had a single of his own behind him. But it'll be Angus State, who flew out to center in his first AB, leading it off here in the bottom of the third. The Blue Sox looking to take their lead back after the E6 scored Joshua Hoffman in the top half. First pitch from Henke. Breaking ball just low for ball 1.
Now there have been 3 straight half innings where it is kicked off with a single for the leadoff man.
It's in there for strike 1.
So surely a little bit of pressure on Angus State right now, the DH spot, who's 0 for 1 coming into this at-bat.
1-1's fouled back softly for strike 2. And the low spin rate on that last one might be another knuckleball. That one's in the dirt. A nice pick from Eddie Javier Jr., and it's 2-2. As we said, Eddie Javier Jr. not normally playing catcher. The only listed catcher is Caden Chichura. But now he is behind the dish now with Sims taking his spot at short. Popped up to the right side. Bertino gives it a look, but it's going to head out of play just barely.
He actually might have had a chance if he leaned over the fence a little bit. Wasn't going to take that chance, though. There's some cement right there. Concrete would have hurt if he had flipped over the fence.
Yeah, it was a bit closer to the fence than originally thought, but Bertino not willing to kind of reach over and grab it. Maybe lost in the sun as the 2-2 again is in the dirt, and it's a full count. So tie ball game, 1-1. Bottom of the third, no outs, and a full count to Angus State. Another one driven off to the right side. That'll be foul out of play near the parking lot back there in the batting cage. And we'll do it again, 3-2.
Each one of these teams in the first 2 innings has an error now. One of them that allowed one to score for the Bombers in the last frame. A little interesting fact about that after this pitch.
In there for strike 3, the breaking ball freezes Angus State. And a nice 8-pitch at bat ends in the first strikeout of the game for Jordan Henke.
Good work to finally retire the first batter after the streak of 3 half innings. I believe that's the second strikeout of the game, the first for Henke.
Kevin Gamero stands in. First pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1. He also flew out to the center fielder, also on the first pitch, same as Angus State. Both of them end up not hitting the ball on the first pitch in their second ABs. It's the 0-1. Henke kicks and deals, and that's fouled back to the screen. 0-2.
But to return to my point here, both teams have an error. It's kind of two sides of the coin right now. The Bombers have 17 errors now on the season. The Blue Sox have 8. The Blue Sox have the least amount.
That's going to be a foul ball. Just barely. It looks like it could have hit the chalk out there. It was really close. But it'll be called a foul, and we'll stay at 0-2.
But the Blue Sox have the least amount of errors. The Bombers have the most amount of errors. Obviously, neither team has a winning record right now, but that's just something interesting to look at. The Bombers average 3 or more errors per game. They'll want to limit it. Today, this is one of the more even matchups that they've seen in a while. They've been facing off against some bigger teams.
0-2, grounder to short. Sims fields it on a hop, throws to first. Bertino has it for the out. And there are now 2 outs. After the Gameros ground out, it'll be Alan Goodwin. Alan Goodwin led off, as we said, led off the second with a single. Ended up getting tagged out at third by Si-Yun Kim after he bobbled that ground out. Stands in for his second AB here in the third. Henke's first pitch swings through it. Gets by the catcher, Javier Jr. But it'll be 0-1.
Really beautiful day at the ballpark. First pitch, 68 and sunny. It's going to start to heat up a little bit as we head into the weekend.
Can't get much better than this when it comes to January baseball. Sounds outside for ball 1.
Haven't checked the UV index, but I know you've been outside a little bit, and you got to have a fun experience yesterday.
Palm Springs Tramway swings through that one, and it's 1-2. Very enjoyable experience.
Tell me about it.
Would recommend, honestly. It was really fun. we were able to. The tramway up there was very, very sketchy to say the least, but the views are just so worth it. That one's fouled back, and we'll do it again at 1 and 2.
One of the premier tourist spots in Palm Springs. Trying to hit them all in our 4 weeks here.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I still want to go see the Marilyn Monroe statue. It's somewhere.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Alan Goodwin strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 inning with 2 Ks for Jordan Henke. We will head to the top of the 4th. We are still tied at 1 here on the California Winter League YouTube channel. We head to the top of the 4th, tied at 1. Angel Landazuri is back out there for his 4th inning of work. He'll be facing off against the 3, 4, 5 hitters in Eddie Javier Jr., Bubba Thompson, and Si-Yun Kim.
Yeah, right now, a tight race between these two teams that average some of the lowest scores. They have the least amount of runs per game, both of these teams in the league. They're at the bottom 2. So we expected not too many to play today, but early in this contest, it's becoming really apparent that it's a bit of a tough challenge to get runners on and keep them on. 1-2-3 inning that we just came from. They're staying efficient so far, but have yet to see a really big inning break out yet.
Well, we'll see what happens, starting with Eddie Javier Jr. For this game is hitting 303 hits in 10 ABs, 2 walks, and has a stolen base. He stands in, flew out to the right fielder, Kono, to end the first inning. The first one is to right as well, but that one will drop in for a base hit. So first pitch swinging for Javier Jr., and it's another leadoff single.
My goodness. When will the trend end? I mean, I guess if you can keep the runs low, it doesn't really matter what you give up early in each inning, but what a trend.
Bubba Thompson stands in 1 for 1. He's singled. Got out at second on the 4-6-3. Another first pitch swing into right field again. Kono running under it, makes the sliding grab for out number 1. A nice sliding catch for Hiroto Kono. Leaves Javier at first. Now with 1 out for Si-Yun Kim.
He was fully committed to that. He could have let that fall in front of him. It looked like Javier Jr. was getting ready to head to second. He had to quickly retreat after he saw the effort that Kono was making in on that baseball.
Si-Yun Kim stands in. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first AB. Now takes one a little inside. Didn't swing, but still called strike 1.
Not a cloud of to speak of in the sky right now.
The 0-1. Soft grounder to third. Smith has it. Throws to first. Dug out there by Connor Donahue. And that's the second out. Eddie Javier Jr. will advance to second on the play. And now it'll be Michael Sims. He grounded into one of the 2 4-6-3 double plays that this Washington Blue Sox defense has pulled off. but he's now up to bat. Runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Landazuri breaking ball just outside for ball 1. He swings through that one. It's even at 1-1.
Sims now 1 for 9 on the season heading into this at bat. Trying to pick himself up.
3 strikeouts as well. Landazuri looks back to second. Kicks and deals the 1-1. That's grounded to second. It'll be He'll make the quick toss to first. And that's the 3rd out. So nothing doing after another leadoff single. We head to the top of the 5th, still tied at 1.
Hello, Power Baseball fans. At SBMP Attorneys, we believe in the power of community. And that's why we proudly support the Palm Springs Power, our hometown baseball team. After a memorable championship season in 2024, capping off the team's 20th anniversary, we're all very excited about the 2025 Power team. SBMP Attorneys and the Palm Springs Power are 2 teams that are committed to excellence, community, and the spirit of winning. We'll see you all at the ballpark.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Been a good battle of pitching here as we reach the bottom of the 4th. Still tied at 1 as Jordan Henke is back out there to face Funada, Kono, and Donahue here in the bottom of the 4th. Both teams combining for 8 hits. All of them are singles and 1 error each.
Yeah, they've had no problem getting on base. Either team hasn't really, but those big innings don't really come across very often with these 2 teams. Some good defensive efforts we've seen so far, but it's running up the hit column. Now they just have to figure out how to run up the run column before this game gets into extras.
Shuya Funada singled in the 2nd inning, came around to score. The only Blue Sox run so far in this one. As Jordan Henke will look to put another 0 on the board here and let the Bombers offense try and give them the lead. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. From Henke. Check swing foul to the right side. Bertino will pick it up, but it'll be 1-1.
Sun kind of in a tough spot right now for these outfielders as we reach the midday.
1-1 from Henke is in the dirt past Javier. And it'll be ball 2. Yeah, the sun has really been somewhat of an issue for outfielders. We were talking to Jude Dresmecki of the Power earlier. He was talking about how you look right into the sun during these afternoon games. 2-1 to Funada. Kind of reaches at it, fouls it off to the right side, out of play. Near the trainer's tent, and it's 2-2.
Look out, Lance.
Shout out our whole training staff. Getting the players well, you know, in a short season. You don't want players to get injured, especially when they're looking for a professional contract. Really appreciate our training staff and all that they do.
Been lucky that there haven't been too many injuries so far.
It's in the dirt, picked up by Javier Jr. for ball 3.
They've come close, though. You saw that stolen base effort by Wu in the previous game. He appeared to be okay, though.
Fouled off, and we'll do it again. Saw Wu in that last half inning get hit by Anthony Burgos' throw, which was a really good throw if there was someone covering, but fortunately there wasn't. Hit him in the head, but they did end up sort of embracing, talking no hard feelings after the final out was made. 3-2 is fouled off again to the right side. Getting busy over there. And we'll do it again, 3-2.
That, of course, referring to this morning's game where the Alberta Grizzly beat the Power 10-3. Shuffles up the standings a little bit, but still at the bottom of it are these two teams right now.
Grizzly getting their second win. Palm Springs Power fall to 3-3 on the season. 3-2 again is grounded foul again to the left side this time. Funada really putting up a good fight here. That's 7 pitches now, with the 8th coming. So 3-2, Henke really working here in this battle versus Funada. Another 3-2 coming as fouled back again. This time looked like it went just to the right of the PA box near us, and that is the 9th pitch of this at-bat now for Funada. So number 10 here from this first batter was one of the best battles we've seen, and Funada wins it. A leadoff walk. That's a great at-bat from Shuya, and he'll be on first now with no one out.
First walk of the game so far. And we saw a lot of free bases in the first game. And we find ourselves now in the bottom of the 4th. Didn't expect this particular matchup to get this far without a free base, but here we are.
Haven't seen any walks up until that one, and that one took 10 pitches. So doing a good job of throwing strikes is both Henke and Landazuri. As Hiroto Kono will stand in. He reached on a fielder's choice, ended up getting stranded at third. First pitch, he swings through that one for strike 1. Funada does not have a stolen base yet. Another slow breaking ball in there, and it's quickly 0-2. Got Yun Hyun Kim warming up in the Bombers bullpen as that one's grounded foul over towards them. Stays 0-2.
Getting ahead of a lot of these counts is Henke. And right now just trying to work a quick inning. He hasn't really had an inning under 10 pitches since the first.
Funada goes. Popped up foul in play for Kim, and he'll make the grab for the first out. Looked like it was going to be Javier Jr. and Kim converging. Kim calls him off, makes the grab, and it's 1 out. Funada stays on first. It looked like he was going to go to second on the play. It'll be Connor Donahue stepping in. Donahue in his first at-bat flew out to the right fielder Dickerson. He's been busy out there today. Henke looks back to first. Bertino covering. Decent lead from Funada. The first pitch in the dirt. Nice grab from Javier Jr. And it's 1-0. Another look back to Funada. 1-0 pitch to Donahue. Again, low, and it's 2-0. So still tied up at 1 here between the Bombers and the Blue Sox. 8 hits between both teams. Here in the bottom of the 4th, 1 out. A bit of an eephus throw. Funada really didn't need to dive back as that throw was very soft to Bertino at first. Do it again at 2-0. Henke kicks and deals. That's driven into center field. Hoffman looks like he's under it. He is. He'll make the grab. And that'll be the 2nd out. A nice hit from Donahue. Very hard off the bat, 93. All the way back near the Las Consuelas sign out there in center field. Hoffman able to make the easy grab.
Right about 10 feet away from the warning track as well. That ball sailed around 363 feet. Just to the deepest part of the yard.
Takes a lot to hit one over the wall here, as it will be Hunter Smith taking strike 1. He had a single, RBI single in his first at-bat. Scored Funada, now has Funada again on base. Quick throw back to first. Funada gets back there, diving in time.
Trying to screw up the tempo right now with Hunter Smith here with 2 outs.
Funada goes. Breaking ball. Quick throw from Javier. Not able to make the tag, though, is Bubba Thompson. And Funada's in there with his first stolen base of the season.
Nice jump there by Funada. And a clean throw there by Javier Jr., the non-traditional catcher. Now a runner in scoring position for the Blue Sox. The go-ahead run at second base.
First runner in scoring position since that 2nd inning in which they scored their first run as Henke steps off. And we'll do it again here, 0-2, 2 outs. Still tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch. Fouled back. Hunter Smith stays alive. It's still 0-2. Pitch. Fouled back to the right side. It's going to get into the bleachers there on the... Never mind, actually it gets into the dugout of the Bombers. Still no one's able to grab it. We'll do it again at 0-2.
I'm very lucky that didn't hit anybody. Everybody typically on the top step there.
Didn't look like anybody in there was phased.
It's kind of hard to see for if you're inside the dugout, especially with these guys sitting on the edge of this dugout. So it makes sense. Everybody wants to see the action, be a part of the action.
2 straight foul balls from Hunter Smith, and we're still at 0-2 with Funada at second. Breaking ball pop up. Second base way. It looks like it'll be Thompson. He'll make the grab. And that'll be the 3rd out. So Funada, the leadoff walk, stolen base. Doesn't lead to any runs for the Blue Sox. We'll head to the top of the 5th, still tied at 1.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
knows good things come in threes, like our eat, drink, and play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 19.99s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
We've reached the top of the fifth, and Angel Landazuri pitching like he did against the Bombers last time. Still no earned runs. Of course, the one run on the error by Gameros. Now he will be facing off against the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Hoffman, Bertino, and Henke. Anyone gets on, it'll be the top of the lineup. And Elijah Dickerson. First change has been made by manager Jimmy Johnson. It will just be a quick switch. Nico Diaz is now in center. Shuya Funada is in left. First pitch, that's up the middle, a base hit. And again, another leadoff single.
We love fun, even trends here at Palm Springs Stadium. Did you just see the news that just popped up, by the way, in Major League Baseball? Max Scherzer is going to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, really?
That's huge.
That is.
So we're breaking that news live here to you.
Wow.
Anybody listening?
Good for the Blue Jays.
That's going to be big.
First, Bertino swings through strike one, but it's good for the Blue Jays. They get Anthony Santander, now able to get Max Scherzer. Good piece for that pitching staff over in Toronto. Joshua Hoffman, the leadoff single. Now Dominic Bertino.
I think he might have broken his bat there.
Sounded like it. It was a very odd sound coming off, but it was a foul ball off to the bleachers in left field. It looks like he did. He'll need a new piece of lumber, and it's 0-2.
The bat does not die a hero, but he'll borrow somebody else's bat here. Bertino, we've always seen here at Palm Springs Stadium quite early in the morning. He's typically here before even we get here, working hard on pitching mostly, but we see him in the cages occasionally. Got to commend him for that.
0-2. Back pick to first, and it'll be dug up by Donahue. Bit of a low throw from Alan Goodwin, but Joshua Hoffman's back in there safely. Ball is called, and it's 1-2. Yeah, Bertino, we've seen him really working hard on his pitching. He has pitched in one game. See if he might get another opportunity here today now that he has the start. That's chopped to third. Not going to be able to get the out at second. The throw's over Donahue, and it gets into right field. Joshua Hoffman rounding third. He's going to head home. Bertino's going to third. And a wild throw leads to the second Bombers run. They have the lead, 2-1.
There is so much energy in the Bombers dugout right now. A simple ground out, should have been ground out play. The E5 scores that run. And a big moment there for Bertino, really helping his team out today.
Jordan Henke definitely excited about that. E5 will now be pitching, if he's pitching the next inning, with a lead. Looking to extend it now to 3-1 as he takes outside for ball one.
Well, he can stay in the lineup as a DH and just exchange somebody at the pitching spot.
1-0. That's grounded to short. Going home is Bertino. He'll stop back. Throw to first, though, is in time. And Henke will be out on the 6-1-3 put out. 6-2-3, sorry.
The conventional put out, the 6-2-3. That's going to be a fun one to score in point streak. Actually pretty standard, but, you know, whatever way you can get an out, I suppose.
Elijah Dickerson, the leadoff hitter, will stand in for his third AB. Breaking balls in there for strike one. So Bertino on third, about halfway to home, so that's why Gameros threw it. Went back to third, and they were still able to get Henke at first. Another breaking ball just outside, and it's 1-1. Dickerson singled in the first, reached on an error in the third. As that's crushed to deep center field. That's going to get over the head of Nico Diaz, and it's going to get off the wall. Bertino will score easily, and Elijah Dickerson, the leadoff hitter, hits a RBI double, and it's 3-1 Bombers.
Absolutely crushed that. 100 off the bat, traveling 387 feet. And really just drawn in was Diaz, not expecting to see one over his head.
The whole dugout comes out for Bertino to give him some love after he broke the tie. Now 3-1 as Sawyer Stidham takes strike one.
Bombers finally starting to piece together something we haven't seen in the first 5 games. They're starting to collectively come together as Landazuri goes and checks on Dickerson at second to pause the action here.
Dickerson really doing it all for the Bombers today. He gets the start in right field, saves a couple runs with a diving catch, now has a single and an RBI double, along with reaching on an error. Breaking ball's in there for strike two.
Finding ways to get on, finding ways to save runs. Right now, you can post Elijah Dickerson as the player of the game so far in this first half.
1-2 to Stidham. Is outside, and it's 1-2.
And right now, if you're the Bombers, you cannot let your foot off the gas pedal. You got to keep going and expand your lead as much as possible, much like the Blue Sox did to the Bombers last time they faced off.
That's a pop fly. That's going to be caught in left by Funada, and that'll be the second out. So it'll be Eddie Javier Jr., who singled in his last at-bat in the fourth. Now up here in the fifth with a man on second, 2 outs. British Columbia Bombers with the lead 3-1 on the E5 by Bertino. Errant throw from third base going all the way into the bullpen in right field, scoring Joshua Hoffman. Bertino ends up scoring on the double from Dickerson, and he stands at second here now with 2 outs.
The wind also starting to pick up from right to left field.
First pitch to Javier. 50-50 call, but Javier gets it. It's 1-0.
And with that wind starting to push towards the pole side of a lot of these righty hitters, if they can drive something off of Landazuri, it could be trouble for Funada having to chase something down.
1-0. Looped into left center field, a base hit. Aaron Miles is going to wave Dickerson home. Funada bobbles it as Dickerson scores easily. Javier, an RBI single, and it's 4-1.
It's going to be a hit and an error that allows the run to score, so no RBI for Javier, unfortunately, but still a good piece of hitting there.
You know, you were talking about how the Bombers have the most errors in the league, and it seems like their luck has been pushed onto this Blue Sox defense as they already have a solid amount of errors. It's only the 5th inning.
I mean, they had 7 in their first 5 games, and now here they have 3. That's almost half the amount that they've had in those 5 games.
That's through into right field, a base hit, as Bubba Thompson has his second hit of the game. Keep the train running. Sehyun Kim will stand in now with 2 on and 2 outs.
Keep trucking along right now if you're the Bombers. They're finding their stride slowly but surely in this 3-run inning so far.
4-1 now in this top of the 5th as Sehyun Kim takes a little outside, but still called strike one. Oh, 1 now. It's grounded to short. Gameros has it. He bobbles it, and everybody's going to be safe. My goodness, another error. The 4th one of the game. And the 2nd one from Gameros. And now it's the bases loaded.
3 this inning alone as well. Just an absolute crumbling of what was once a poised defense of the Blue Sox. They'll need to get it together quick.
It'll be Michael Sims with the bases loaded. He'll take strike 1. So Eddie Javier Jr. on third, Bubba Thompson on second, Seon Kim on first after the error by Kevin Gameros. And the 0-1 to Sims. Check swing at first, and he got him. 0-2. Landazuri trying to get out of here. Just the 3 runs, but 4-1 lead. That one's outside for ball 1. Good amount of offense from the Bombers. 9 hits now to come along with these 4 runs. That one's down for ball 2. Sims grounded into a double play to end the 2nd inning. Grounded to second again in the 4th to end the 4th inning. Now stands here in the 5th. 3 runs already in. And the 2-2 is just high. Full count. Everyone will be running. So here we go. Javier Jr., Thompson, Kim, all will be running with a 3-2 to Michael Sims. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. That's grounded foul off to the right side near the bullpen where there's a new, looks like there's a new player up in the bullpen right now for the Bombers.
Yeah, it appears to be number 9, Doriel Beck.
So maybe that's why he's not in the lineup, is he's going to pitch today. Only player in this league from the KBO. Another 3-2. Everyone goes again, and that's grounded to back to Landazuri. And he'll make the quick toss to first for the out. But the Bombers break through. 3 runs in the top of the 5th. They lead it 4-1.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Bottom of the 5th, and we have a new pitcher. It's Sebastian Encarnacion. New pitcher looking to keep this Bombers lead at 3. Looking to get the Bombers their first win of the season. They'll be facing off against Han Wan Hu. And back to the top of the lineup in Nico Diaz and Angus State.
And you got to commend Hankey for the start that he had. 4 innings pitched. 3 hits allowed, only 1 run, that one earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and 65 pitches. One to hang your hat on there, as you mentioned. Encarnacion comes into the ball game to try and hold the line after the Bombers took the lead. It's starting to seem like there's finally a spark, finally something going here for the Bombers. Can they hold on is the question as we head into the 5th inning.
Dorial Beck, as we mentioned last inning, still warming up in that bullpen, but on the Blue Sox side, it'll be Aoi Nakaza warming up on over there. He gave up 6 runs in that 10-3 loss to the Canada A's on the turf field. So he's looking for some redemption here against the Bombers if he were to come into this game. Angel Indazuri pitched pretty good. It's just that 5th inning where they scored 3. Only one of those were earned, though.
Yeah, it's really not his fault. His ERA is not going to face too much hurt today. It's going to be on his defenders, which is crazy because, again, we've been talking all day about how the Blue Sox were one of the best defensive teams in the league. Now 4 errors, 3 in that 1 bad inning in the top of this frame. We'll see how they can collect themselves here in the bottom of the 5th.
3-run lead. It is 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Encarnacion's first pitch to who is in the dirt for ball 1.
Encarnacion gradually getting better in each appearance. That first appearance that he had on the backfield is not one to write home about. He let the A's kind of run through the lineup, but the next time he saw the A's, he did a little better.
Swing and a miss for strike 1, who's still looking for his first hit of the season.
This is also the first time Encarnacion has faced anybody other than the Canada A's.
So down and away for ball 2, who reached on an error in the 2nd inning. Got stranded on first after the diving play by Elijah Dickerson to end that 2nd inning. Now faces a 2-1 against Encarnacion here in the bottom of the 5th. So that one's into right field. Dickerson a little bit easier on that one. He'll make the catch. And it's a quick first out for Encarnacion and the Bombers.
This is a big 0 to put up for the Bombers if they can. They got to face these top 2 in the lineup who have not gotten aboard today so far. They're just trying to continue that trend.
Top of the lineup, Nico Diaz is up for his 3rd AB. Grounded out to first base in the 1st. Lined out to Dickerson, but he gets hit on the first pitch here in his 3rd at-bat. And he'll be on the speedy threat with 1 out here in the 5th.
Only the 2nd free base given up by Bombers pitching today. That 1 walk back in the 4th, and now this hit by pitch.
And that 1 walk was 10 pitches. But Nico Diaz, leadoff hitter, doesn't have a stolen base, but we know how speedy he can be. Also hitting .500 on the year.
Well, you don't put anybody slow in center field typically. So that would make sense.
Especially with how big this outfield is as Angus State takes strike 1. We see Encarnacion's hat coming off with every pitch, seems like. Needs to get one that fits him. Possibly.
Or find a little bend to his hat.
There he goes again as Diaz steals, but he'll get tagged out on a great throw by Eddie Javier Jr. A perfectly placed throw to second. And it's 2 outs, 0-2 to Angus State on the called strike.
Just an absolute dime right there by Javier Jr. He's seen it on the other side, and now he's thrown it from behind the dish.
Inside, and it's 2-1.
A lot of great defensive plays from the Bombers today, in stark contrast to the defense of the Blue Sox.
Outside, and it's 3-1. It's crazy that the Blue Sox, even with their 4 errors, have 2 double plays under their belts as well. (3-1) in the dirt, and he walks State. And it's going to be another runner on first, this time with 2 outs for Kevin Gameros.
Encarnacion has struggled with walks. This is now his 7th in 4+ innings pitched. Now 4 2/3 innings pitched in the California Winter League.
Opponent average of 250, as he said. Needs to locate in the strike zone here with State on first. Does locate there, and it's a called strike 1 to Gameros. So Nico Diaz gets hit by a pitch, gets caught stealing at second on a great throw by Javier, and then the walk to State. That one's in the dirt by Encarnacion, and it's 1-1. 4-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Blue Sox trying to do anything to decrease their deficit here in the 5th. As that's grounded back to Encarnacion. He will toss to first. And a nice 0 up on the board for the Bombers. We head to the top of the 6th, still 4-1.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like our Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Maybe the saying should be good things come in 1999s. Maybe not. The Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection in an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Angel Landazuri is back out there for another inning of work, giving up 3 runs. Only one of them earned, though. There's 3 errors in the top of the 5th. Lead to the difference in this game. 4-1 Bombers. As Joshua Hoffman, who led off that last inning, is now leading off here in the top of the 6th. It'll be 7, 8, 9. Hoffman, Bertino, and Henke. Henke no longer pitching, but will now be in the DH spot.
This is the 3rd at-bat for Hoffman. Both of his prior at-bats were leading off the inning. Both of them were singles, and he eventually came around to score. He has been a workhorse at the 7 spot for the Bombers, and he'll face Landazuri for a 3rd time today.
It's up to Hoffman to keep this streak of leadoff singles going as well for the Bombers.
The entire game.
And there it is.
Oh, my gosh.
Another leadoff single on the first pitch. Joshua Hoffman. This is crazy.
What is happening?
6 straight leadoff singles.
And back-to-back, might I add, on the first pitch, up the middle. Hoffman has Landazuri's number right now.
3 singles, 3 for 3. Both times he singled in his last 2 ABs, he was able to come around and score. And now it'll be Dominic Bertino stepping in with a man on first and no outs again. As that's a grounder to third, and it's bobbled. Throw to first, though, is in time. A little hop by Donahue. And that's the first out as Hoffman moves to second.
Won't be as lucky with a hard hit ball to third base this time. Bertino going down. Now 1 for 2 on the day.
Looks like Sebastian Encarnacion is hitting.
Oh, my gosh.
After pitching the last inning, so Henke's out of the game. And an Encarnacion will stand in against Landazuri. Does not have a at-bat in this season. He was just a pitcher, and that's grounded right field line, but foul for 0-1.
Well, we've seen a few great hitters named Encarnacion in the major leagues. Juan, Edwin, actually an interesting connection to Juan Encarnacion and Aaron Miles, Sebastian's manager.
Grounded, diving stop at short, but is bobbled by Gameros. And he is having a nightmare game today. It's going to be the third error from Gameros in this one.
But to kind of finish that point, Juan Encarnacion, I believe his career was ended at the hands of Aaron Miles, who hit him with a foul ball in the on-deck circle. Unfortunate, Aaron Miles seemed a bit sad telling that story because Juan Encarnacion had a wonderful career in the early 2000s. But an interesting connection there nevertheless.
As that's first ball to the top of the lineup, and the leadoff hitter Elijah Dickerson, who has been phenomenal for the Bombers today. Has a single in the first, reach on an error, in an RBI double in the last inning to give them the 4-1 lead as that one's fouled back. He also made a very spectacular diving catch with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Save a couple runs here, and he's most likely the reason that they're up 3 here.
It's really hard to determine who right now would be awarded the player of the game. There are so many options right now.
Bombers playing an all-around very good game. Looking for their first win as that's grounded to short. Gameros has it, throws a second for 1. On to first, not in time, and a run scores. So the Bombers extend their lead to 5-1 on the fielder's choice. Dickerson doing it again. It's another RBI.
Really nice for Dickerson. 2 RBIs on the day. Getting aboard any way he can. And just continuing these innings. Really amazing work.
4-run lead. It's 5-1 Bombers here, as it'll be Sawyer Stidham swinging and missing for strike 1. Sawyer Stidham 0 for 3, struck out in the first. Grounded out to the pitcher, Landazuri in the third, and then flew out to Funada in left in the 5th. Now up here in the 6th with a man on first and 2 outs. Popped up left side. It looks playable in foul territory. Gameros dives. Misses it. It goes foul. Gameros looks to be fine, though. A lot of dirt kicked up over there in the bullpen.
He kind of ate it there. Hope he's all right. He kind of face planted. He's wiping off some dust from his face as he heads back to his position. I think he really wanted to give it his all after the day he's had. At least have something to hang your hat on.
And give it his all he did, as eats a face full of bullpen clay. As that was strike 2. It's 0-2 on Stidham. Another one in foul territory. This one playable for Smith, and he drops it. Smith misplays it. Gameros was over there as well again.
I think he was getting nervous.
It looked like Smith's ball, but yeah, Gameros was coming in really hot on his tail.
He was nervous that he was going to run into him.
Could have been a little miscommunication there. Luckily for the Blue Sox, it still ended up in foul territory, so we'll do it again at 0-2. Fouled back again. Stidham doing a good job of fighting here. Dickerson is on first after the RBI fielder's choice, which gave the Bombers a 5-1 lead here in the top of the 6th. 0-2 again. Breaking ball. Got him. Freezes Stidham, his second strikeout of the day. And that's the 3rd out, but another run comes in on the Elijah Dickerson fielder's choice. It's a 4-run lead for the Bombers, 5-1. We will head to the bottom of the 6th.
Quality first. It's quite a philosophy to live by. But world-class ingredients are the foundation of great meals. And we wouldn't have it any other way. At Kaiser Grill in downtown Palm Springs, we believe you deserve the best. So whether it's dinner for 2 or a celebration with 200 friends, quality is our promise to you. Because quality is king. Quality is Kaiser.
6 outs separate the Bombers from their first win of the season. It is up to Encarnacion in this bottom of the 6th. He'll be facing off against Goodwin, Funada, and Kono. First off, it's Goodwin, and he'll take one outside for ball 1. Second pitch is fly shallow right center field. It looks like it'll be the center fielder, Hoffman, who will make the catch, and it's a quick first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
He saw the second baseman Thompson ranging back. Dickerson also closing in on it, calling everybody off and making sure he grabbed that one. They have to stay poised in order to keep that lead. We see how the errors can impact things. Only one earned run on the day so far for Landazuri.
Funada, first pitch was high for ball 1.
Just crazy to think about. 5 runs, 1 earned. Incredible.
6 errors, too, for this Blue Sox defense. Having a nightmare defensive game, but that one's low for ball 2.
Actually 5. But still.
Upstairs for ball 3.
Just a spectacle. They came into this game in these first five games. The Blue Sox had only had 7 errors total, collectively as a team. And today, 5 come in this game.
3-0's in there for strike 1. Funada singled, came around to score the first run. The first and only run for the Blue Sox in this one. That one is just outside, and it's going to be ball 4. So a walk, the second walk of the game for Funada. So Funada has reached base, all 3 ABs so far in this one, as Hiroto Kono will step in. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the second inning. Popped out to the third baseman, Kim, in foul territory in the 4th. Funada fakes going, doesn't actually go, but that one's blooped into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Funada's rounding second. He'll head for third. He'll get there standing as it's a single for Kono, and it's runners on the corners with 1 out.
Really great throw in there by Dickerson. Lasered it into his cutoff to prevent Funada from turning the corner and scoring, as they still have yet to score since the second inning. This 4-run lead for the Bombers.
5-1. 5 runs on 10 hits for the Bombers.
This is probably their best opportunity, if any.
Connor Donahue stands in. Runners on the corners, 1 out. First pitch from Encarnacion is outside for ball 1. Funada the walk. Kono the single. And the Blue Sox are threatening for the first time in a while here, down 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 1-0. In the dirt, and it's 2-0. Donahue flew out to Dickerson in right field in the second. Flew out to center field. Hoffman in the 4th. Now when hitters count 2-0 against Encarnacion here in the 6th. Funada on third. Kono on first. 2-0. Just inside, and it's 3-0. So walk here would have the bases loaded for Hunter Smith, who has the only RBI of the day here for the Blue Sox. 3-0 is upstairs, and that is ball 4. The bases are loaded now for Hunter Smith.
Now Aaron Miles will have to head out to the mound to chat with Encarnacion. 2 walks in this inning. Does not want things to spiral out of control with the bases loaded now.
Young Hyun Lee and Dorial Beck are up in the bullpen warming.
You have to play it safe right now if you're Miles. Have a little chat with him, see if he can get this next out. But if he can't, that bullpen is always an asset for him.
Sorry, the Beck was warming earlier. That's actually Chaz Graham also in the bullpen alongside young Hyun Lee. Aaron Miles has some options out of the pen if it does get a bit uncomfortable for him here, but now it's Hunter Smith. Has the RBI single in the second. Pops out to the second baseman, Bubba Thompson, in the fourth. Now up in the sixth with a chance to make the game just so bit closer for the Blue Sox as he takes low for ball one.
5 straight balls for Encarnacion. Trying to find the strike zone here.
1-0. That one's in there for strike one. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. 5-1 Bombers. 3 runs scored in the fourth. 3 in the fifth, actually. 1 in the top half of this inning. And now it's the bases loaded with 1 out. And the 1-2 to Smith. It's a fly ball. Deep-ish right field. Dickerson will make the catch. Funada will tag up. Throw goes to second. A run will score. And the Blue Sox score for the first time since the second inning. It's 5-2. The sacrifice fly from Smith.
And that's big, too, because they still have that runner at third who tagged up Kono. Staying smart and just trying to keep pushing along and making this an even more interesting game than we had anticipated given the past couple innings.
Bottom of the lineup, Han Yuan-Hu still looking for his first hit. That one's in the dirt for ball one. First hit here would be big for Hu as it would score a run and make it a 2-run ball game. But right now, 5-2 after the sac fly from Hunter Smith. Kono on third. Donahue still on first after the walk. As that one's into center field. Hoffman running to get it. And he will make the running grab for the third out. So the Blue Sox get 1 back. But we will head to the seventh. 5-2 Bombers.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
We finally have a new pitcher for the Washington Blue Sox after Angel Lynn Desuri pitches 6 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs. Only 1 earned, though. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts on 82 pitches. It'll be Guang Chen coming in for the 7th inning. He'll be facing off against Eddie Javier Jr. Bubba Thompson, 4 singles combined between those two. And then it'll be Si-Yun Kim.
And Chen has actually faced the Bombers before on day 2. Pitched 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 runs on 1 hit. 2 walks and a strikeout. Faced 7 batters. He's got himself a 5.25 ERA in 2 2/3 innings pitched. He's going to try and be the rock that Landazuri kind of was. I really can't shy away from a 6-inning appearance, even though he's in line for the loss. It's just his defense that let him down, but it's still a close game nonetheless.
First pitch to Eddie Javier Jr. is in the dirt for ball 1. As you said, very good pitching performance, but in line for the loss. Kind of reminds me of the last game where Clayton Warner pitched a full 7, still got the loss in the 2-1 loss because of Tino Novus in the Palm Springs Power. That one's driven into left center field, into no man's land, and that's going to drop in. And it's actually going to get out of here. 403 feet, Eddie Javier Jr., his first home run of the year, and it's a 6-2 Bombers lead.
Well, isn't that the cherry on top? Hit it to one of the deepest spots in the yard, just beyond the scoreboard, and the Bombers, somebody has taken the defibrillators to this offense and absolutely given them a spark of life here.
Looked like that might have hit off the wall, but it ends up going over 100 off the bat. Eddie Javier Jr. gets some extra cheers from the crowd as the Bombers dugout comes out to greet him. That's the second home run we've seen at this stadium, the first one since Asaf Loengart on opening day. Bubba Thompson stands in, takes ball 1. As you said, that's just the cherry on top of this performance from the Bombers as they get their 4-run lead back. 6 runs, 11 hits, and it's 6-2 here in the 7th. Bubba Thompson takes inside for ball 2.
And now the 11th hit of the day for the Bombers. They just have to close this one out in the bottom part of this inning.
The 3-0 is in there for strike 1.
Also the save opportunity eliminated for whoever is to come on to pitch as it stands right now.
Chaz Graham was the only one in the bullpen warming. He's now out and no one's in there. 3-0's in the dirt for ball 4, and it's a walk after the home run.
And for Chen, you know, he does not get you with the velo. He's got some great off speed. He's got some great breaking pitches. It's just when these kind of hitters can figure you out and something's left on the plate like that, they'll take advantage.
Seon Kim is up, takes ball 1 after Goodwin has to dive, is in the other batter's box. It's 1-0. Bubba Thompson on first after the walk. Eddie Javier Jr., a big home run, as you said, too. The biggest part of the yard as Thompson runs. He'll take second easily as there's no throw from Goodwin. Called strike makes it 1-1. In the dirt, gets past Goodwin, and Thompson will take third. So some accuracy issues from Guang Chen as Thompson is now 90 feet away with no outs.
Really have to hit your spots here. If something gets away from Goodwin, it just adds on to the already 4-run lead that these Bombers have.
Outside, and it's 3-1.
You also don't want to walk the guy.
Up and away, and it's another walk. So 2 straight walks here for Chen. And now the Bombers are looking to make this one a blowout. It's Michael Sims now up with runners at the corners and no outs.
And right now, quickly back up in the pen is Aoi Nakaja, just in case this gets even more ugly for Jimmy Johnson's Blue Sox.
Doriel Beck up again in the Bombers bullpen as well, Hasn't played today, usually plays in the outfield, the lefty. Pitches from the right side, in fact, as Michael Sims will take strike one. Bubba Thompson on third, Kim on first, as that one's high for ball one. Look for Kim to possibly run here. Try and take second and eliminate the double play. That one's grounded to short. Gameros throw to second for one on the first. Sims will get there in time. Thompson scores, and it's a 5-run lead for the Bombers, 7-2.
Kono was coming in from right field, and at first base, Michael Sims is holding his hamstring right now. He must have pulled something on that run down to first. Going in to check on him is Ryu Yakato. And now a few more just to make sure that right hamstring, that right quad there, is all right.
Looks like we're already going to get a pinch hitter in Jaden Brown.
Just to play it safe.
As Sims does get on from the fielder's choice, does get the RBI after the run scores, but will be taken out of the game and might have to see some of the trainers up in that tent behind the Bombers dugout. But for now, Joshua Hoffman takes strike one. So Jaden Brown has had the day off, but now on first as a pinch runner, as strike two for Josh Hoffman. It's 0-2 with one out. Going is Brown. That's outside for ball one. Throw is there, and he got Brown at second. For the second out, a nice one-hopper, and it looks like Who might be injured as well.
Oh, man. Yeah, the way he kind of slid on top of him there. He's popped up back to his feet, and he appears to be all right. He's walking it off right now. But a nice throw down by Goodwin.
Yeah, Goodwin, a really good throw on a hop. Who gets injured in the process, but is able to make the tag on Jaden Brown, and now bases are empty with two outs. As that one's going to be through past the dive of Gameros into center field. The fourth single of the game for Joshua Hoffman.
I think it's starting to become a little bit more apparent on who the player of the game might be. 4 for 4.
It's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close one between Dickerson and Hoffman.
And then, of course, Javier, who hit the home run, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard-fought battle between those three guys.
It's going to be a fun recap to write, for sure, too.
Bertino takes inside. Now hitting from the left side, as he was hitting from the right the first two ABs, or the first three ABs.
Which is interesting because he's been facing nothing but righties today, and only now he decides to try it out from the left side.
Fouls that one back. Maybe he's, has a 5-run lead, 2 outs. Wanted to get some reps in from the left side.
He's been trying it out. He's been trying to teach himself to be ambidextrous. Not just from his throwing side, but from now his batting side.
That's right at first. Donahue will make the grab, tag the bag, and that's the third out. So 2 more runs come in. We are 3 outs away from the first Bombers win of the 2025 season. We have arrived at the bottom of the 7th inning. The Bombers looking to get their first win of the season, up 7-2 against the Washington Blue Sox. We have a new pitcher. It's Chaz Graham. We also have a defensive substitution. After the injury to Michael Sims, Jaden Brown will take second base, and Bubba Thompson has moved over to short. Chaz Graham will be facing the top of the lineup in Nico Diaz, Angus State, and Kevin Gameros in this bottom of the 7th inning.
And then Encarnacion ends his line as the middle reliever. Really picked himself up from his first 2 starts, or first 2 appearances. It's 2 innings, only 1 hit allowed and 1 run to come across on his account. And really got better and limited the amount of balls. He did give up 3 walks and a hit by pitch, something obviously to work on, but only 27 pitches in those 2 innings. But Chaz Graham, the submarine guy, will have to close things out and finally secure win number 1 for Aaron Miles, his first potentially in the California Winter League.
Well, he'll have to face Nico Diaz first in this bottom of the 7th inning. The Blue Sox needing a miracle, a 6-run comeback to win it, 5 to tie it and bring it to extras. Nico Diaz was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, lined out to right field in the second, grounded to first. In the first inning, he takes outside for ball 1. Another one outside, it's ball 2. In case things get a bit wonky, it seems like Aaron Miles has kept on throwing Doriel Beck in the bullpen. 2-0. That one's in there for strike 1. "26 inches of horizontal break on that one. That one's grounded over the head of Graham. Brown's got it. Going to be a hard throw to first. It's going to get past Bertino. The speedy Diaz is going to get to second. And it is a lead-off, I guess, reach-on error by Jaden Brown. Nico Diaz will reach second.
And that's just the second error for the Bombers, in contrast to the 5 that the Blue Sox have put up. Obviously, the errors have been the detriment today. The Bombers don't want to fall apart themselves this late into the contest.
Yeah, it seems like the Bombers' offense was able to pick them up, though, even with the 2 errors. That one's fouled way back off to the right side. Out of play for Angus State, and it's strike 1.
And for Chaz Graham, this is his 3rd appearance. 2 1/3 innings pitched with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 7 hits in those 2 1/3 innings.
0-1 is in there for strike 2. And State quickly down 0-2 in the count here. With a runner on second. No outs. 7-2 Bombers. So a run here wouldn't do much for them. They would need a lot more. It's inside for ball 1.
Graham's last appearance, he really got run up, but you can't blame him because he was facing China, and that's kind of just an outstanding variable there with how amazing China is at putting up runs.
Inside, and it's ball 2.
Gave up 7 runs, 6 earned in just 1 1/3 innings to Team China. Bit more manageable of a task, as all he has to do is get 3 outs here.
2-2 now. Swing and a miss. And there's the first out. Angus State strikes out swinging. The first strikeout for Graham. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Kevin Gamero stands in. Nico Diaz still on second after the throwing error by Jaden Brown. Chaz Graham looking to get out of this with a Bombers win. That's up the middle. Fielded by Thompson. Throw to first is over Bertino's head into the dugout. And Nico Diaz will score. Another throwing error, this time from Thompson. as Gameros reaches second. Runner comes in, and it's 7-3.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't call it a dead ball. It almost hit somebody in the Bombers dugout, but it hit the chain link fence first, and Bertino having some trouble picking that one up. It'll be a two-base error, and here come the errors that have resulted now in one more run. They don't want to fall apart right now, not where it matters.
Alan Goodwin steps in now. A 4-run deficit. Popped up foul kind of near us off to the right side.
Fan almost had a play at it, tried to barehand it, but he still got the ball.
0-1. Graham to Goodwin with a runner on second in Gameros after the E6. One run's already come in unearned. That one's into right field, and it could be a play. It gets by Dickerson, and it's going to keep on rolling. Here comes Gameros. He'll score easily, a triple for Alan Goodwin, and it's 7-5. Now with a runner at 90 feet away. So a 7-4 ball game. 3-run deficit as Shuya Funada will stand in now. It's the last thing you wanted if you're the Bombers. There is one out, but Shuya Funada has reached in all 3 of his ABs. So that one's in there for strike 1. Seven to 2 turns to 7-4. One runner 90 feet away from making it 7-5. That one's outside for ball 1. One outside, and it's ball 2. Two one swings through it is Funada, drops down to one knee, and it's 2-2. Two runs in the top half, 2 runs in the bottom, and it's back to a 3-run Bombers lead, 7-4. The 2-2 is a chip shot to the second baseman Brown for the second out.
And that's a big one to get there. As Kono is the last hope at this late life from the Blue Sox. These past 2 innings, they've scored. And they haven't really since the second inning where they actually took the lead. And it seems like we've come a long way since then.
Nico Diaz reaches on the error, goes to second. Angus State strikes out, and then another error. So that's inside to Kono for ball 1. Gameros comes around to score on the triple from Goodwin, and that makes it a 7-4 game, but the last hope is Kono. That's grounded to short. Thompson has it. He'll throw to first. Bertino has it, and the Bombers, winless no more. They win their first game of the 2025 CWL season. They beat the Blue Sox 7-4. The Blue Sox tried for a comeback. It was to no avail, and the Bombers are now 1-5. The Blue Sox now fall to 2-4. Saw a lot of defensive errors here from the Blue Sox and some good offense from the Bombers. And I think that's what led them to the victory here today.
Yeah, really great work from the Bombers. They've been waiting for this day, and free at last, they have finally broken the curse early on in the season. A great game for the Bombers that, you know, they've been fighting this uphill battle of not being able to put together big innings. Sure, a lot of that credit that to the countless errors, 5 on the day for the Blue Sox that really helped push them through. It's crazy that you look at the finishing line here, 7 runs coming across, and only 3 of them earned. And with this 3-run lead, had those errors been taken care of, this would have been a completely different ballgame. They would have clearly won because of that margin there. Incredible work. Aaron Miles, congrats to you. You have a win in the California Winter League for the first time in your career.
It took 5 games, but the Bombers finally are on the board. It's a 7-4 victory. As we look towards tomorrow, the Blue Sox are back here in the morning, but on the turf field they play China at 9:30. The Chill play the Grizzly here at 10 in the first game at Palm Springs Stadium tomorrow. The 12:30 game will be Power versus the 5-1 Canada A's at 12:30. For everybody here with the CWL, Joey Miller, I'm Evan Patoka. We will see you tomorrow for more California.